Om. 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 Sairam, everyone. We are studying Sathya Sai Vahini, where Swami is talking about the latter texts of Sanatana Dharma, chapter 12 of Sathya Sai Vahini. Last week we looked at a section where Swami is talking about Bhagavad Gita after discussing the three schools of philosophy. That's where we are. We'll just read the text from last week, and then I think we'll read it once. Is it, I think the previous slide, I think.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the last one.
The touchstone.
Or previous. It's not this.
Uh, can we go to the next slide? Kalyani is here.
We'd have to go down to the bottom of the
Okay.
PowerPoint to go
Okay,
to the.
let me stop sharing. The Upasana laid down in the Gita is incorporated in the Mahabharatam, named as the Panchama Vedam. The Mahabharatam is a veritable treasure house of gems illumining the problems that confront man in worldly and spiritual matters. The Mahabharatam is a magnificent drama that was enacted by Sri Krishna on the stage called Dharmakshetra, field of Dharma, where he had collected together all the items he needed for the production. Madhava, that is to say Krishna, was director who collected the participants, the cast, the songs each had to sing, the words each had to utter, and decided on the exits and entrances. He was the actor, the witness, the producer, all roles were he. On one side, immeasurable worldly power soaked in unrighteousness. On the other side, righteousness filled, limited atmic power. This is the essential charm of the Mahabharata. This is the Bhagavad Gita. The entire essence of Mahabharatam is in it. Karishye vachanam tava. I shall do exactly as you order. One can find safety and happiness in doing one's own duties. Swardharme nidhanam shreyaha. These are the touchstones of the worldly dharma.
Okay, thank you. So I think we discussed this. I think there was a request to go through the Bhagavad Gita verses and the meaning. So I have a couple of slides. Maybe I will share them. 1 second. I hope it doesn't become a Sanskrit session, but I will try to keep it. So the first phrase of Karishye Vachanam Tava appears in the 18th chapter, 73rd verse. It's one of the last few verses where Arjuna is looking at Krishna and speaking. I'll just read the verse and then look at the meaning. Nashto moha smritir labda tvat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. So what Krishna is saying is, oh Achyuta, the imperishable Lord, Tvat Prasad, and I'm rearrange the words, I hope you don't mind, so that it's easy for us to understand. Oh imperishable Lord, Tat Prasadat, due to your grace, Nashtaha Mohaha, the delusion is destroyed. Maya Smritir Labdha, memory is gained by me, sorry. That means I have recovered my memory. Maya Smritir Labdha. Sthitah asmi gata sandeha. I remain with all doubts gone. All the sandehas, the doubts all gone. And he says, I shall do as per your word. Karishye vachanam tava. So this is what Arjuna is telling Krishna. So it also tells us what all we have to do. Through his grace, we have to get moha out from us. We should understand memory. That means we should be able to remember the Lord at all times. And we should not have any doubts. From that state only we will be able to do the word of the Lord. So that's what Arjuna is telling. He's telling the qualifications he had attained also. So I have an excerpt from Swami's discourse talking about it in detail. So I think it will be nice to, maybe somebody can read rather than me talking. Kalyan, you can read?
People today are totally immersed in worldly concerns and do not devote any attention to the spiritual quest. It is true, involvement in worldly affairs cannot be given up totally, but all such actions can be sanctified by performing them in a spirit divine. The Bhagawan demonstrates how this kind of dedicated life can be led by a devotee. It is not enough if you claim to be a devotee of the Lord. The Lord must recognize you as a devotee. Only then does one's devotion acquire value. Arjuna, for a long time, felt proud about his closeness to Krishna and about his devotion to him. It was only towards the end he realized that he had to abide by the words of Krishna and completely surrender to the Lord. He then declared, Karishye vachanam tava. I shall carry out your words.
Okay.
No one should feel that it is beyond his capacity to surrender himself completely to the Lord. If there is firm determination, this can be accomplished. It is only through earnest endeavor that divine wisdom can be got. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Today, the world is afflicted by the epidemic of ahamkaram, egoism. There is really no basis for this kind of self-conceit. It is born of ignorance. It has to be totally eradicated. If everyone realizes that the body has been given for the pursuit of righteousness and acts on that basis, he will be able to realize the divine.
Thank you very much, Kalyan. So these are some paragraphs. So it's a discourse Swami delivered in August 1992, where there are many other discourses where Swami has spoken about it. So I thought this was a short one, which we can read. So that means we have to surrender to the Lord and do as He commands. We have to overcome ego and self-conceit, as Swami says. And even when we pursue worldly activities, we should do it as with a spirit of devotion, Swami says. So that is Karishye Vachanam Tava. And simply, if anyone would like to discuss. I'll go to the second one, I think, which is where I think there was more interest. Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmat Swanushtitat Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. I've given meanings. The meanings are not what you commonly find anywhere. See, this is a verse where Swami has completely clarified what is meant by Sri Krishna. Even though all the great acharyas have also commented and they have been translated by many, the meaning which Swami gives is phenomenal. So we will go through that. Based on what I was able to, I will just give I have given a meaning which I feel is aligned with what Swami has taught. But I will also mention what is popularly known also, so that everyone can compare. Shreyan Swadharmaha Vigunaha. Okay. Swadharma is one's own dharma. generally people say Swadharma is if you are a Kshatriya, you have to be a Kshatriya, you have to be a Kshatriya. If you're a householder, you should be a householder. If you're a sannyasi, Varna and Ashrama dharmas, and any of them. So this is generally being mentioned as Swadharma. Then the meaning for Vigunaha is given as defective. Even if you do your Swadharma defectively, that is great, Shreya. So this is generally the meaning given. But I have given a slightly different meaning. Swadharma without qualities is greater. Swadharma, according to Swami, is Atma Dharma. Atma Dharma is beyond all gunas. So Viguna means without any qualities. So what Shri Krishna is saying is performing Swadharma, which is beyond all qualities, all the gunas, is great. Okay. We'll go to the second one. Paradharmat Swanushtita. Swanishtritat. So it basically is Paradharma means compared to Paradharma, which generally is seen as dharma of other people. If you're a Kshatriya doing the work of a Brahmana, if you're a Brahmana doing the work of a Kshatriya, such things. So the Paradharma. Swanishtitat means Su-anushtitat means if you perform it well. So what generally the meaning is, even if you perform the Paradharma of dharma which belongs to other people very well, greater than that is Swadharma doing with defects. This is general meaning. But I think here there's no confusion. Paradharma, the definition of Paradharma is different. We will look at Swami's excerpts and then discuss it. Even if you perform the Paradharma well, compared to that, doing a Swadharma without any qualities beyond the gunas is the best. Swadharme Nidanam Shreyaha means generally the meanings are given is Swadharma means in performing your Swadharma. Nidhanam is generally means if you die. Shreya, it's great. This is the meaning popularly given, but I have given a slightly different meaning. The word Nidhanam means to rest, to put something down. So the thing is, to rest on Swadharma. If you rest all your actions on Swadharma, that's Atma Dharma, that is great. Okay. And so, Paradharma Bhayavaha. Performing other dharmas is fearsome. So this is the meaning which I have given. You may wonder from where I got this. There are many discourses of Swami, even in Gita Vahini. So I am going to share some for you all. Alian, you can read this also.
There are two types of actions described in the Gita as Swadharma and Paradharma. Swadharma is generally regarded as duties relating to one's vocation or stage in life, and it is considered meritorious to perform these duties. But Swadharma is not related to community, caste, or creed. Swa refers to Atma, the self, and Swadharma means duties relating to the Atma. It is not liable to change in character or form. It is based on the eternal verities. It is unchanging. Swadharma enjoins man to perform the duties relating to the Atma as the primary obligation. Paradharma refers to actions related to the physical entity. Such actions are based on likes and dislikes, on ideas of mine and thine. They are fraught with danger, and hence the Gita has cautioned against them. We are continually worried about what may happen in the future. All that we do in the present have their consequences in due course. Hence, we must engage ourselves in good actions to ensure good results later. In all these actions, there are three categories: Sattvika karma, Rajasika karma, and Tamasika karma. Sattvika actions are those which are done without any selfish or egoistic motives, with no concern for the fruits, and as an offering to the divine. Sattvika deeds serve the divine and win the grace of God. All actions done out of self-interest and conceit for the sake of the rewards therefrom are Rajasika. Most actions done by common people in ordinary daily life belong to this category. Almost everyone in the world indulges in Rajasika actions. One must strive to convert them into Sattvika actions. The third type of action is Tamasika in nature. They are deeds done out of selfish motives, causing harm to others and inflicting pain. They lack compassion and are impelled by narrow-mindedness, stemming wholly from self-interest. They are pregnant with evil.
Thank you very much, Kalyani. So, as we can see, Swami gives the meaning of Swadharma as Atma Dharma. Then all other dharmas, which relate to the body, such as, caste, creed, your state in life, varna, all that is second category of paradharma. And Swami says they are full with qualities, as you can say. Swadharma is viguna, no gunas. Paradharma is with gunas. So Swami categorizing them as sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. And he's also talking us what are the problems which we will face. Because it says bhayavaha. That means they are fearsome. They're scary. I mean they're full of problems, loopholes, and pitfalls. So Swami is telling how we can overcome that. Swami is nicely explaining. There's just another small excerpt. I think I have not. Oh, I see. It's next one is slightly okay. Go ahead.
Complete surrender to Lord Krishna, freedom from the threefold shackles which bind one with the external world of objects, the observance of good deeds and virtuous disciplines, these are the principal truths underlined in the Gita. The Lord holds these forth as the best forms of training and the deepest secrets of inner progress. The real meaning of the Gita is not grasped by all. Reputed scholars and writers, though gifted with rare intelligence, have failed to unravel the mystery of its message. Commentators speak of the principle of perfect balance amidst all change, or of the achievement of freedom as more important than anything else.
Thank you very much, Kalyan. So this excerpt from Gita Vahini. But you can see here Swami is talking freedom from threefold shackles, which is basically the three types of gunas which cause shackles. Go to the next one. Yes.
On the other side, others compare the Gita with the philosophical texts of the West, with which they are familiar, and start teaching young minds in that strain. Of course, full renunciation is highly desirable, but only a very small number can practice it. If a certain spiritual teaching has to gain universal acceptance, it must have disciplines that can be practiced and experienced by everyone in daily life and its activities. The highest dharma is for each one to follow his swa, own dharma, boldly. As regards this problem, there is a conflict between religion and morals. Gahana karmana gati. It is difficult, fraught with danger, says the Lord, speaking of the moral discipline. Which act is legitimate, which not? Which act is sanctioned by morals, which not? Persons have struggled and are struggling to decide these, but Krishna has mentioned the type of acts which are worthy in the shlokas. Manmanabhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Fix thy thoughts on me, be devoted to me, worship me, Do homage to me, thou shalt reach me. The truth do I declare to thee, for thou art dear to me. This is my teaching, my grace. This is the path to come to me. Give up all dharmas, surrender to me. Do not grieve. I shall liberate you from all the consequences of your acts. Note the meaning and the significance of these two stanzas. Is not this act of surrender enough to save you and to liberate you from the round of coming to, staying in, and leaving from this world? Manmana, that is, seeing him in every being, being aware of him every moment of existence, being immersed in the ananda, bliss, joy of this awareness. Madbhakta, that is, merged in the relationship caused by profound devotion and love to him. Madhyaji, all acts, big and small, dedicated to him, Krishna. Wish, will, attitude, activity, fruit, consequence, everything from beginning to end. The renunciation of all attachment to the self and the performance of all acts in a spirit of worshipful non-attachment. This is what the Lord seeks from you. Of course, it is hard to effect this full surrender, but if man makes the slightest effort towards it, the Lord himself will confer the courage to pursue it to the end. He will walk with help and help him as a friend. He will lead him as a guide. He will guard him from evil and temptation. He will be his staff and support. He has said, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. This course of action, if followed even to a small extent, will save him from terrifying fear. To follow dharma is itself a source of joy. It is the path least beset with hurdles. This is the teaching of the Lord. Mame Vaishyasi. You will come near me. You will be approaching me. That is to say, you will understand my mystery. You will enter into me. You will achieve my nature. In these terms, Sadrishya, acquiring divine nature, Salokya, existence in God, Sayujya, unity in God, are indicated. When one has attained the state of realizing the divinity in every being, when every instrument of knowledge brings the experience of that divinity, when it alone is seen, heard, tasted, smelt, and touched, man becomes undoubtedly a part of the body of God and lives in him and with him. When this duty to your own progress is taken up, you will get a new strength at the very first step. You will thrill to a new joy, a purer joy. You will taste the fullness of bliss. You will be refreshed by a new holiness. This dharma is not laid down or recommended for the extraordinary among men. It is within the reach of all, for all have the hunger for God. All have the discrimination to discover that there is something basic behind all this change. Even the most heinous sinner can quickly cleanse his heart and become pure by surrendering to the Lord in anguished repentance. Therefore, the Lord's command is that each should pursue the special dharma laid down for him.
Thank you very much, Kalyan. So I think so far what Swami has done is Swami is talking about Swadharma, which is thinking of the Lord, being one with him, offering everything. And he says, even a little bit of that practiced, it will become better. Because that practice is viguna, without any qualities or gunas associated with it.
Each person should plan his life according to the spiritual foundations of his culture. He should give up the objective vision and listen to the voice of God. Those born in Bharat, India, should deserve the privilege by listening to the voice of the leader of Bharat, Gopala, and manifest the divinity latent in them in every word they utter, every letter they limn, every wish they entertain, every thought they frame, every act they do, for the winning of gross things, such as food or shelter or health. Then only can this Indian nation demonstrate to the world the excellence of the ancient religion, the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal path, its special gift to humanity, and ensure peace for all mankind.
Okay, go ahead.
Acts in line with that dharma alone can confer the strength of spirit, which can encounter all crises and achieve victory. The sacred Gita grants that boon by indicating clearly the way.
Thank you very much, Kalyan. So that's all I had. Swami, the reason I accepted this from the Gita Vahini chapter 1 is that's how Swami starts. Where before actually Gita Vahini, when we began itself, Swami clearly said, two dharmas, Swadharma is Madbhakto, Matyaji, Mam Namaskuru, all that. Then he says Sarvadharma Parityaja. So Sarvadharma means all the paradharmas you can tread. Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. That Mam Ekam is Atman. So Swami is otherwise, if you say you follow Swadharma of your Kshatriya, then when you go and say Sarvadharma and Parityaja, people get confused because it's contradictory. But Krishna is very clear. When he said Swadharma, he's talking about Atma Dharma. He talked about other dharmas which are full of fear because of their gunas. Swadharma is without gunas. And that is, say, if you take it down to Sarvadharma and Parityaja, Swami is showing Sarvadharma means all the Paradharma have to be offered, but only Mam, that is Atma Dharma. Mam here is God or, the Aham principle. He's saying that only you have to surrender to, which is Nidhanam. That, Mamekam Sharanam is but nothing but Swadharme Nidhanam. Shreya. So Swami linked both. And so I thought I will share this. I think I will stop sharing now. If anyone has any questions. So this is the touchstone on which we have to test everything which we do in the world. So even if we are doing a worldly duty, worldly dharma, Swami wants us to have the touchstone of Atma Dharma or Swadharma, or offering it to the divine, spiritualizing it. That is the way we can work. So we can go back to, yes, Sairam Sai Satish.
Hi, Ramana. Just one clarification.
Yes, please.
When Swami mentioned about Sattva Guna, there Swami had said doing all actions without expectations that draws upon God's grace. So that Swami had said as Sattvic karma. And then when we go to now the Swadharma, how is the differentiation? Because now we are saying Swadharma is beyond the three gunas. So how will we reconcile something? Is it Shuddha Sattva? Because
Yes.
if it is beyond even
So
Sattva,
yes, Atma Dharma is Shuddha Sattva. But the thing is, to make the worldly activities divine, we have to make them as much as possible sattvic activity. And without touching the Shuddha Sattva, we will not be able to even practice Sattva in this life. That's the way I understand. So I think there are other discourses where Swami says we have to overcome Rajas and Tamas and make the Sattva complete. So that is only possible for us if we do Swadharme Nidhana. If we rest on the Atma Dharma, then all of our worldly activities will slowly be transferred into sattvic activities. And that is the way we sanctify our life. So that's my understanding.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I will stop sharing. Yes.
Can you hear me? You can hear me now. So,
Yes.
Sometimes Baba gave explanation about go beyond the gunas means you would have read it balancing all three gunas equally, equal proportion. So now Vihuna means it could be that what do you say? I say that maybe it is balancing all three gunas, then he can act. That's what Sadi's question, Because in some places Bhagavan explained that way too, that way
Yes.
too. But yeah, that's
So,
I found it recently too. That go beyond the gunas here means equilibrium of all three gunas.
yeah. So I think,
I'll stop
yeah,
it.
yeah, I understand your question. So, brother, see that sattva is also bad. That's also shackle. Three shackles. Sattva is a golden shackle, as is mentioned. I think Brother Sivadas' question is, uh, if you had to balance, each of them should be one third, one third, one third. Okay, I think that's his view. When you do that, then there's equilibrium. But my understanding based on everything, brother, Rajas can never be balanced unless you apply Sattvic to that. Tamas can never be balanced unless you add Sattva to that. So the thing is, even if we perform Tamasic or Rajasic activities, Swami says, I think that's what Swami says here. I will go back there. I think maybe, sorry. I think what was, sorry. Let me see. Okay, here, sorry. See, Swami says in all these actions, which are basically paradharma actions, he says sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. Sattvic actions are those, which is what Sai Satya is talking about. All actions are done. Then he says, most actions done by people are falling under the rajasic activity. Then he says, see, one must strive to convert them into sattvic actions. Same thing with tamasic also. So the thing is, by converting them, we bring balance. The equilibrium cannot happen as long as rajas is in force. So the only way to bring to equilibrium is to make the rajasic actions into sattvika ones. They're rajasic actions only, but make them sattvic. By, I think the previous one, we'll say, offer it to the Lord. Uh, uh, Make sure that you think of the Lord, and even Arjuna, Krishna is giving the antidote for, he's telling, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha, because he's actually going to wage a war. He's going to kill people. But he's saying, while killing, think of me. So this is the same thing he says, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yejana Parivar. No, the Sarva Papepyo Moksha Ishyami Masucha. He says, I will remove all sins from you. Sarvadharman Parityachya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Tvam Sarva Papepyo Moksha Ishyami Masucha. So he's saying, give up the dharma and surrender to me, then I will liberate you from sins. So the thing is, Arjuna was performing a rajasic action, but Krishna is telling him how to make it sattvic. Making it sattvic is Mam Anusmara, means thinking of me. That Mam is nothing but Swadharma. Thinking of the Atman, thinking of the Lord is my understanding. Actually, Swami has clarified this. But generally, we think equilibrium means we put 30%, 30%, 30%, they are all equilibrium. No, that is a worldly equilibrium. In the spiritual equilibrium, you have to transmute everything into sattvic nature. And then that's a golden shackle, no doubt, that can be easily given up with God's grace is what we have understood. But at least others can share their thoughts also. Sorry.
Just to kind of clarify my understanding, is it that in the world, the dual world where you're doing physical actions and all of that, there's going to be all three gunas involved there? But then when it comes to your mind, because here, what all the different qualities Swami is saying, like the motives, all of that has to do with your mind. So within your mind, you can predominantly have sattvika, and then the real you, the real self, that should be beyond all three.
Yeah, I mean, in the Gita, it is mentioned in multiple places. Even Traigunya Vishya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhava. So Krishna has repeatedly said, go beyond the gunas everywhere. And going beyond the gunas is only possible by making all the gunas sattvic. And that is the equilibrium or bringing a sense of equilibrium, sthita prajnatva. By bringing, and how do we do that? As Ajit said, we touch the Shuddha Sattva, touch that. That's the touchstone or whatever. So through that, we'll make it, as soon as you touch Shuddha Sattva, everything becomes sattvic. Because the Lord makes it sattvic, and that is what can bring about equilibrium. Okay. I will stop sharing. I hope everyone found it useful. You can share whoever's share. Yes, yeah, please. Yes, Sitaram, please go ahead.
Charamanna, just wanted to dwell a little more upon the three words Sattva, Rajasa, and Tamasa. Just a very surface level understanding based on various definitions that Swami has given. Gathered knowledge from that. I'm just thinking out loud, but please elaborate once I complete. Sat va. I'm thinking Sat va. Va means Vartinchuta Swami uses for Manava, and Sat is the existence. So to conduct oneself based on that true existence is Sattva Guna. Raja. Ra we know is fire from Rama. Ra stands for fire. And today in this course study circle we had a lot of Agnis that we talked about. Karuchichu, Kamagni, and
Kamanala.
Kamanalam and
Krodagni.
Krodagni.
Yes.
And Ja is to be born from. So this Raja is continuously like a fire which is going around in our mind. So that is Rajasic Guna in oneself. And Tama, Ma stands for ignorance. And anything which Ta stand generally for Tattva, but though Tattva is there inside, it is always covered, just like the coal is covered by the dust, by Ma, which is ignorance. So if we see, if we are able to hold to that Sat with Chit, which is that Shuddha Tattva, with that awareness, thinking that everything that I do, I have to look for that Satya or Nitya aspect, then I think rest of the Ra, which is the fire, though it is born, you can still put it under control. Like you said, the Sat will act as the extinguisher. And same way, Ma, the coverage on that Tattva, on the awareness, will be removed with the fire of that knowing awareness. Saira.
Sairam Sitaram. I think this also elaborated by Swami in the second chapter in the Gita Vahini. He says, Arjuna had fallen into tamas. So how do you overcome tamas? Is to raise rajas. So he's beating him up, so that his Kshatriya spirit will, how can you talk badly about me? So he wakes him up from tamas using rajas. Okay, once he wakes him up and he's agitated, then he puts sattva and he calms him down. So Swami is nicely explaining in chapter 2 of Gita Vahini, this what you expect, what you described, how we get to the Viguna stage. He says tamas have to be attacked by rajas and rajas has to be calmed by sattva. Yes,
Very
thank
nice.
you.
Thank you. Just one more word from Shivopasana
Mhm.
that we chanted today. Nidhana Pataye Namaha. And this Nidhanam, What is the connection on that? Can you share again?
Yeah, so again, Nidhana, I think I may have covered it in the Shivapatana Mantra Sanskrit class, but Nidhanam is generally considered death. Who is Lord of Death is one of the meanings which is commonly used. But as you said, even for that surrender, he is the one who holds the key for that also. One who is the Lord of all who have surrendered to him. And he is the one who can let you surrender to him also. So that is the Lord who is Shiva. He will remove the ignorance, like how he burnt desire, kama. So he also does so that he brings calm. Through that, he makes everything in the world calm and auspicious. I hope that's Shiva.
Thank you. Thank you. Sai.
Okay, so we'll go back to this. I think it is the next slide here. I think we had to put it on, what is it? Slideshow format. I think that it may be a bit more bigger for everyone to watch. Okay, thank you.
So, Uncle, you were saying also that Swadharma is basically that verse, Madbhakta.
Exactly.
If we do that, then that we're doing Swadharma.
Exactly. We should be devoted to that principle, Atman. We should always think of it. We should offer everything to that Atman. At least, that's the idea, and that is Swadharma. Always be established in that. Swadharmi Nidhanam. Okay. So that's the touchstone. I think worldly activities, I think that's what it says, the last one. Whenever we engage in worldly activities. I'll stop here. We can continue.
Thank you, brother. On behalf of everybody, we thank you.
Sairam, Sairam, brother. It's just revision, Gita Vahini revision. Actually, we discussed all this. But, sometimes we tend to, Smriti Labdha, Arjuna said, you have to remember. So, by God's grace, Tvat Prasadat Smriti Labdha. Maya Smriti Labdha. I think we should all say, because the thing is, what happens to us is, because we read, there's so much literature out there. But there's so much confusion is also built into some of these texts. And Swami's avatarhood is just so that clarify all the cobwebs, bring clarity so that Sanatana Dharma is again re-established. That's why we are doing all sorts of study circles, so that we also gain from the work Swami has done, so that we are clear in whatever we do. Siren. People read. Go ahead. Yes, Sai Satish.
I was just going to add, based on what you said, means basically tamas should retract into rajas, rajas should retract into sattva, and Shuddha Sattva will allow only Sattva to come in. So that way, that
Yes.
only that Sattva can go into Shuddha Sattva, and it's like based on what we discussed again today also, that gold will get beaten again and again and again till the last bit of those impurities and everything is removed, and so all of the tamas, all of the rajas, the shuddha, the sattva also, it comes to a point of that yajno yajnena kalpatam, kind of the total I thing is effaced, and then it gets into shuddha sattva. So the way it recedes all the way to attain that aspect, yeah, it is very useful, as you were saying. It just says how you have to keep because again it goes from the indriya, manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. You're pulling all of that. You're going back and establishing into that brahma buddhi, and then which then goes into shuddha sattva. So that whole path you can traverse both in gunas and in all the way from indriyas to buddhi to realize the jivatma is nothing but the paramatma. So it is very useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Saira. Sairam Kaliyai.
And so this Swadharmo Nidhanam, is it similar to also what we studied in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra about Swarupe
Yes.
Avasthanam? Basically
Exactly. Exactly same. Drashtu Swarupe Avasthan. Exactly. Swami wants us, he's lining up everything so we study. That's Swami. And so we recollect. See, the thing is, some of it we read, but then it's buried somewhere in our memory and we can't recollect. And I think Swami made us all recollect so we can benefit. Yes, exactly same. Drashtuhu Swarupe Avastha. Yes. Okay. Yes, Sanjay.
For the sake of completion, can Satish or you talk a little bit about Shuddha Sattva? What is it? What is it referring to?
Okay. Very good. Sai Satish, you would like to talk about Shuddha Sattva?
Sai Vahini, you
Chudavaya.
can take on. You can take on the Shuddha Sattva because beyond Trigunas, so it's better you talk. Yeah.
Okay, but you only introduced it, I'm stuck with it.
So yeah. Yeah. So it's a I don't know, and I'll attempt you clarify based on what I. So if you are looking at uh, either the Asti Bhati Priyam, the Satyam Shivam Sundaram, or Satchidananda, all of that, which again is beyond the name. That is what we say as something that can be used to describe God. Of course, Swami says Sattu Tane Chittu Tane Anandamu Tane means he is Sat, he is Chit, he is Ananda. But that Shuddha Sattva, because any if now the Shuddha Sattva is as much as Nirguna Nirakara, and since that is established in the Nirguna Nirakara state, the only way it can be cognized as wrapping it into a Rupa and Nama, and that's where the avatars or any Tatastha come to essence that um, Satchidananda. So that Shuddha Sattva is, it is literally the Parabrahman shining in all its glory, because there is nothing of Rupa and Nama wrapped around it. So, but I'll stop here. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. See, Shuddha means pure, Sattva is Sattva. So the unmanifest Brahman is called Shuddha Sattva because it is Viguna. The other gunas do not taint it. So it's pure. The creation itself takes place from that Shuddha Sattva. When the three gunas are created as part of Prakriti, God puts a little ingredient of that Sattva also into the creation, which is the Sattva guna, which is prevalent in the world. However, Rajas also and Tamas also come into effect. Because the Sattva in the created world is along with Rajas and Tamas, it is not Shuddha. It is impure. So it is like even our own self. Even though the Atman is there, a spark of divinity is in us, which is actually Sattva. But the Jivatma, because of the conditioning by the mind and the body, has taken on Rajas and Tamas. Because of that, it is also not pure. So to get back to and be able to merge with the Lord, we have to first cleanse ourselves. Unity, purity, and divinity. So that cleansing process is also sadhana or chitta shuddhi. So the thing is, the way to trace ourselves way back is we have to tackle the tamas, we have to tackle the rajas, and then we have to make it all sattva. Then we become sattva. Then we are able to merge. What is the sattva? The sattva is also that which does not change. It's eternal. That is the equilibrium, or it doesn't ruffle. It's not ruffled. So the reality in this world is we ourselves change. We become sometimes sattvic, sometimes tamasic, sometimes rajasic. So we are also undergoing that change. We have to come to that sthita prajnatvam. We have to become steady, unaffected by the dualities. The dualities are nothing but tamas and rajas only. Tamas on one side, rajas on the other side. are the ones which are causing this oscillation or, this imbalance. And by getting rid of this, by doing Shuddha, cleansing Dursadhana, we make ourselves Sattva so that we are ready to merge with Shuddha Sattva, because if we are not Shuddha, we cannot merge with the Shuddha Sattva. So that is the difference between the Sattva in the created world, which is not impure, tainted, whereas the Lord, who is untouched by anything, is Shuddha Sattva. That will keep everything calm, peace, Ananda, all of them, multiple names like Prashanti, Anandam, all is that Shuddha Sattva state, which is Astivati Priyam. So when we get to that Sattva state, we will have constant awareness, no smriti problems, memory problems will go away. We will always be aware, and that is Chit. And then we can merge. So I hope between myself and Sai Satish, we covered Shuddha Sattva. And hopefully our explanation is Parishuddha. It's also Shuddha, not Ashuddha. Okay, Sai.
1 minute, Sairam.
Yes.
See, when creation took place, Nirguna Brahman with Prakriti, the creation came into existence. Before that Nirguna Brahman was Shuddha Sattva.
Yeah.
Because Prakriti has got these three ingredients, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, that had to be mixed with Shuddha Sattva, and then creation took place. So that Shuddha Sattva part, as you said, it is there already in the Sattvic nature, and a part of it is present in Rajas and Tamas also.
Yes.
Yeah. So after the creation, these three gunas came into existence, and the whole creation, all of us have got these three gunas. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Yes, Sai Satish.
Based on just what Auntie mentioned, I was going to say, is it okay to say that Purusha is Shuddha Sattva and Stri or Prakriti? Because Stri we say Sattva, Tamas and Rajas, because that is what is Stri. So anything that has, all of us are that way Stri, because that we are made of the Trigunas. That way we become Prakriti and part of the Trigunas, while the Purusha alone is the Shuddha Sattva. So just wanted to.
Yes. Very nice. Okay, we'll go
Very
back
good.
to.
Yeah, we will go back to our
Yes.
Sathya Sai Vahini.
Yes, Sanjay.
Quick, sorry, a quick question. Did we actually discuss the previous slide where
Touchstone?
yeah, I mean we did discuss a lot about the touchstone, but did we discuss
the rest of this?
Yeah, did we? Not sure. Maybe we did. I can not recollect. So
We
thought I would
attempted
just
to discuss, if you want, if I put it that way. But is the discussion complete? I don't know. Maybe we can try that slide again once. Again, you have to go. The last slide.
Sorry, what is that about? Sorry.
No,
What is
no.
that about?
No, because Sanjay feels we have to again take another look at that slide and make sure that we have discussed all aspects completely before proceeding. So we'll just.
No,
Even
the reason
yourself that-
the reason I say
yeah.
this is because I know we zoomed in onto the touchstone, and then I think questions were brought about that, and so we discussed that till now. So I don't know if the earlier part of the paragraph did we go through it? That's what I was asking.
Yeah, no harm. Slideshow mode, I will be good. Oh, it doesn't go slideshow. Sorry.
Sorry, for some reason it's not working. Let me try again.
Sister Vanya, I'm here now. I can
Okay.
share it.
Sure, okay, go ahead.
Okay. The source of the creation is Shuddha Sattva, so it will be Shuddha. Okay, maybe we can read it once more then.
Sister Vanya, are you able to read?
Sure, sister. The Upasana laid down in the Gita is incorporated in the Mahabharatam, named as the Panchama Vedam. The Mahabharatam is a veritable treasure house of gems, illumining the problems that confront man in worldly and spiritual matters. The Mahabharatam is a magnificent drama that was enacted by Sri Krishna on the stage called Dharmakshetra, field of Dharma, where he had collected together all the items he needed for the production. Madhava, that is to say, Krishna, was director who collected the participants, the cast, the songs each had to sing, the words each had to utter, and decided on the exits and entrances. He was the actor, the witness, the producer, all roles were he. On one side, immeasurable worldly power soaked in unrighteousness. On the other side, righteousness filled limited atmic power. This is the essential charm of the Mahabharata. This is the Bhagavad Gita. The entire essence of the Mahabharatam is in it. Karishye vachanam tava. I shall do exactly as you order. One can find safety and happiness in doing one's own duties. Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. These are the touchstones of worldly dharma.
Thank you. Yes, Sanjay.
Can you just read the Telugu words that translates to he had collected together all the items and also he collected the participants, the cast, the songs.
Which line you want to read? Want me to read?
అంటే అంత ఒక మాధవుడే సో మాటలను పాటలను సంకూర్చిన మేబీ ఎర్లియర్ ఆల్సో అంటే సామాగ్రి మాధవుడు భరత ధర్మక్షేత్ర రంగ స్థలం
తన నాటక సామాగ్రి దింపుకొని ఆడిన అద్భుతమైన ఆట మహాభారతము.
Okay, so he has brought all the ingredients. Samagri means all the things which are needed. He basically collected them and he enacted this drama, which is a wondrous drama, and that is Mahabharata.
భారత నాటకానికి పాత్రధారులను, మాటలను, పాటలను సమకూర్చిన రచయిత, నటకుడు, దర్శకుడు, నిర్మాత అంతా ఒకడే మాధవుడు.
So Madhava, God is everything. He is the word, he is speech, or the I don't know what the statements made by everyone, all the songs, and whatever is brought together. Raichai, Natagudu, he's the director, he's the Darshakudu. I don't know, he's only
producer,
everything.
Everything is Madhava.
Recognizing this itself is Atmadharma. That the Lord is everything. You know, recognizing or being aware of it is Atma Swadharme Nidhana. And Swami is, and then he talks about, created. Okavaipana, one side is
Adharmam.
Adharma, the other side is Dharma. Their duality is come into the created world now. One is Madhava, who is everything. And then he comes to the external manifestation, which is...
Even, I know we discussed this last time, but the apara bhautika balam and then the parimita atma balam.
Atmabalam. Yeah.
So even if we look at bhautika balam, like physical power, it's not unlimited. So why in this context Swami is saying it is, boundless, whereas the atma balam is limited?
Yeah. In the worldly sense, it's apara. I think that's the way I think we can put it.
Sorry, because 100 people and they have lot of armies, no? Armies, weapons, everything. They have lot. Not only 100 people, even there Karna, so many stalwarts. Even the Guru, Drona, also that side, no. So their side is very very huge. So that's what they say, Abharimida, yeah, Abharimidam, because compared to this group, that group is very vast, and Krishna, we know that he is a witness always. He never participated in the war, so he should be counted for this side. As Sanjay brother said, no, he is a middle. He is a judge. So that's it looks like that because of their manpower and the weaponry and the Guru throne or Bhishma also that side, no? So okay, thank you, sir. To kill Bhishma, even Krishna attempted to take the discus and went. So such a big army that side. So that's what I could say. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Sanjay, please go ahead.
No, the limited atmic power, at least the way it's translated in English, it almost seems like the limited is not meant to be an adjective for atmic power. It is more so, it's a limited number of people, but with atmic power. At least in the English, it's not meant to be an adjective for atmic power. I think that's maybe a better way to read it.
Thank you, Sanjay. See, the word apara has multiple meanings. One meaning is opposite bank. One means bad bank, bad bank also, which is not so good. It has multiple levels of meanings, not necessarily. And it also, as Brother Shivada said, even in worldly terms, it was large compared to what Pandavas had. And I also agree with what Sanjay was saying. Atma Bala is not paramita. It is just because the number of people who were there was paramita. Limited number of people. I think that's a better way to look at it. Thank you. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother, what is Swami exactly saying for the limited Atmic power in the Telugu version? If there's anything Swami is describing about that Atmic power here?
Yes, Swami is just saying Dharma Vriddhama Auna Aina Parimita Atma Balamu.
Yeah. ధర్మ మరొక ప్రక్క ధర్మవృద్ధమైన పరిమిత ఆత్మ బలము. Yeah, the limited number of people on the side of Pandavas with Atma Bala were very few.
Okay, Dharma Vriddha. What exactly is the
Dharma Vruddhamaina. Vruddhana matured இல்லையா இங்க?
Is it mature?
So opposing, no?
Yeah, so that's what
Adharmam, no?
Because Vriddha means
Vriddha,
which is
opposite.
It's Vriddha means Vardha, means quite
old,
advanced or old or things like that. Yes.
Something which has been fostered by dharma, we can say like
Okay, foster. Okay.
that, for long
Okay.
time. Maybe.
Thank you, sir. I think, Sister Arna, are you okay with it? Or I know the word bala is there.
I know the limited Atmic power, what always
Atma Balam.
Atma Bala is a divine power. It cannot be limited. As you mentioned, it worldly sense, they are relating with the numbers, maybe.
Yeah, we can also say in human beings, even though the quality is there, the quantity is not full. We have only a spark. That we can say. Even though the Pandavas were dharmic and they had Atma Bala, they are human beings, and so to that extent, there were limitations in terms of quantity. We can look at it that way also.
Yeah.
I don't know whether anyone has something to add.
Once his Atmic Bala is come, so quantities matters. I'm just thinking the Atmic power is the one power, right? Will you put it with the measurement of quantity there?
Okay. Anyone who would like to comment on this, please? Is quantity important? Yes, Sai Satish.
I mean, just based on our discussion in today's study circle, Swami clearly explained that the importance of quantity having quality, and Swami gave the example of agarbatti having fire in it, a cigarette having fire in it, a kitchen
Yeah.
where the fire is used for cooking, and finally a forest fire itself. And Swami says the fire is there in the agarbatti, the fire is there in the cigarette, the fire is also there in terms of cooking, the fire that is used. But if you take even a little bit of grass and put it on the agarbatti fire or the cigarette fire, it will immediately get extinguished. But if you take even big plantain trees and put it into a forest fire that is raging, it will burn it up. So Swami clearly says that you need that kind of quantity that has quality in it, and only then that it gets taken care of. So all of us, no doubt, are the spark of that divine. We are the jivatma of that paramatma. But then in terms of having to connect to that paramatma, it's a whole different thing. So the Lord was there as such, no doubt. Lord Krishna was there, and like what Dada Shivadas mentioned, he told, I will hold no arms in battle, and everyone else there is in that whole Pandava army. Only one person had a Purva Tapa, that is Arjuna, and he had foresight to ask Krishna. So you can see the limitations on what was there on the Pandava side. But yeah, but I'll stop here, Saira.
Thank you, Sai Satish.
Okay, thank you.
Is everyone okay with our discussion of this slide? Yes, Sanjay.
No, I wanted to look at the two interesting statements that Swami makes one after another, where he says Krishna, the director, collected the participants. Right? That's the
Samadhi.
first, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the very next line he says, but he was the actor, witness, and producer. So the question arises, did he collect himself? Who did he collect, right? So I was just understanding this with the discussion we were having about Vishwamitra, Sage Vishwamitra in the Ramkatha Sai Vahini chapter. Who are the kind of actors that the God collects for the each situation? The capable actors. But I just thought these two sentences almost seemingly counter statements, but how they align with each other.
Good question, Sanjay. It's open for discussion. Anyone who would like to comment? Did Krishna collect himself and then he became everything, or what? Yes, Sai Satish.
No, I'm going to, yeah. Yeah, I would say yes, he collected himself, but he put restrictions on himself. He says that now, once I have come as avatar, this will be the kind of restrictions. Of course, he, when needed for the sake of the devotee, he broke those things. That was a different thing. I won't get into that. But in terms of him coming as another actor, though he is the director, he came there and right through whatever he had to do, he did it according to the dictates of what human connotations of dharma is and so on. And only for the sake of the devotees would he every time break that kind of a thing as needed. But then he came with those limitations and restrictions of the that the name and the form had. Though we know that it is limitless power, but I'll stop here.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, then I think no choice but to put my 2 cents. See, the Lord collected, I think the first statement. How does the Lord collect? For example, even to himself, Swami attracts so many people. How does he attract? What he does is, because he's an indweller in every one of us, he will put the thoughts in such a manner that we all come together. Even for the study circle, Swami has put the seed, so we have come together. We may think we came, no, but he made us come. Now he's the subject which we are reading. The words are his. The word is also his. The subject is also his. But the subject has to be understood by us, means he's the one who makes us understand. And when we understand it, he becomes the understanding also. So the thing is, what it means is, he is the one who from within, he collects everyone. And he becomes, even if I am talking, actually he's the one who is making me also talk. He's the one who made Brother Sanjay ask. He's the one who made Sai Satish talk. So the thing is, actually, even though it seems as if we are talking, he's the one who is talking, he's the one listening. And he has brought us all together by inciting us from within to come here. That's the way I understand. And I hope. Yes, Auntie Mani, please go.
ఆ జగన్నాటక సూత్రధారి అయి ఈ జగమంతా ఒక నాటక రంగం, ఈ జనలందరూ అంత పాత్రధారులే. దట్ సాంగ్ వి యూస్ టు సింగ్ ఇన్ దోస్ డేస్.
Auntie, before others ask, I will ask. You should sing.
ఈ జగం ఓకే. ఈ జగమంతా ఒక నాటక రంగం, నాటక రంగం. ఈ జనలంతా ఇక పాత్రధారులే. ఈ జగమంతా ఒక నాటక రంగం. ఆ నాటక సూత్రధారి ఎవరో ఎవరో. సాయిరామ్.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Yes, Sai Satish.
As you were telling, I just recollected one incident. Swami had finished the Sathya Sai water supply project, a piece for the, I think, the Godavari district. And then Swami asked, as few of the people were standing near him, Swami asked, "Oh, okay, next water supply project, where shall we do?" And then even as people were standing there, and then Swami looked at one of the students, and Swami said, where will we do the project? And immediately from his mouth he says, Medak district. And then even as he says that out, he's thinking, oh, Medak, I don't even know what that is, what that district is or that place is. But he says that out, and then Swami says, yes, we will do there. So you clearly know at that instant who planted the thought in that student to say Medak district. And because as he's saying it, he's like, oh, I don't even know this place. That is the thinking that is going through him. So while you are saying in each one of us how the indweller prompts us in everything that we do, if we can just become that witness to see his play, then it's the beauty unfolds. So just wanted to add that. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai. So this understanding is Swadharme Nidana. This
Yes,
understanding.
Dharna. Yeah.
So shall we, has Swami put the thought so that we can forward? Sanjay, you had show the
Yes,
green.
yes, please do. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
indulging. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Neglecting the path of bhakti, which can add unto you all prosperity and progress. Those who close their eyes and contemplate on Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, and suffer from the egoism it confers get only misery as their reward. If husk is pounded, rice can be secured. Having no faith in Krishna's words, if one goes as his intellect dictates, it cannot be the road that leads to ultimate truth, the Brahma Tattva. The Bhagavad Gita has itself taught beyond the possibility of doubt by means of illustrative descriptions and incidents that Krishna is Parabrahma itself. It is the essence of all Vedantas. It is the repository of the Amritam, the nectar, churned out of the entire collection of Shastras. It is the sacred stream of Indian spiritual thought, held in one text. Is there anyone who can deny this?
Thank you. Auntie, shall we read? I think we read, but we can read again now.
సర్వశ్రేయస్సులను ప్రసాదించే నీ భక్తిని నిర్లక్ష్యము చేసి కళ్ళు మూసుకొని అహం బ్రహ్మాస్మి అంటే.
So the bhakti, which is the most exalted one, ignoring that and closing our eyes
and saying అహం బ్రహ్మాస్మి
and saying Aham Brahmasmi
అనే అహంకారముతో బాధపడే నకిలీ బ్రహ్మలకు క్లేశమే ఫలితము.
if we state it with egoism, then బాధపడే with which is fake. Is it?
నకిలీ బ్రహ్మలకు క్లేశమే ఫలితము.
They will only encounter trouble.
పుట్టు దంచితే బియ్యం రావు కదా.
If we pound the husk, will we get rice?
అసలు కృష్ణుని మాటను నమ్మక
Without believing the words of Krishna,
బుద్ధికి తోచినట్లు పోవుట,
just doing as the buddhi dictates,
బ్రహ్మతత్వమునకు మార్గము కాదని,
that is not the path for attaining the Brahmin principle.
ఉపమేయాదులతో నిరూపించి
Explaining them with similes,
నిదర్శనము ఒసగి
providing examples,
ప్రబోధించిన సర్వ వేదాంత సారము భగవద్గీత.
Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedanta texts which has been taught by Krishna.
సమస్త శాస్త్రములలోను మథించి
Churning all the scriptures,
అందించిన సుధానిధి
the nectar which has been provided
భారతీయ పరమార్థ వాహిని
is the stream of Bharatiya Supreme Principle.
దానిని కాదని వారుందరా?
Are there anyone who says it is not? Thank you. Thank you. We can discuss. So dry jnana, without bhakti is what Swami is pointing out. is actually useless, of valueless, is what Swami says. I think I may have not translated Siddhaniti well. It's a reservoir of nectar or something like that. I think maybe better.
Ocean of nectar.
Ocean.
Idhi here means, it's collected.
Ocean. Okay. Thank you. So Swami is clearly saying that we have to churn the shastras, the words of Krishna, Any study which we do also, we should use the words of the Lord and talk. The buddhi, should not just sit around and just share opinions. Many times in the name of study circle, that's what we do. We say, take a topic and everyone comes and shares their thoughts or their opinions. But Swami clearly says, we have to study the words of the Lord. We have to use the Shastras as the raw material for us to be able to get the knowledge out.
So Swami is saying, even when you say Aham Brahmasmi, but the bhakti is the part and parcel of our this path, Advaita path also.
Swadharma. Again, man manabhava mad bhakto mad dhyaji mam namaskuru. So that's why always remembering the Lord. Yes, Sai Satish.
Anna, that way, like what you had mentioned earlier, like you need the auto, you cannot use unicycle, right? You need karma, bhakti, and jnana, all the three wheels to be there to propel, rather than just one unicycle. Because I don't know if you can just be established purely in jnana. How is that? Because again, I know the bhakti itself like ripens into absolute jnana. But then I just wanted to say, is that what it coming down to? Because you need all, yeah.
You have already, unicycle is a clown show. It cannot be used for transportation.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It's
Okay.
It's only circus. Okay. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother. Here, when you say Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, like that, Swami says if you just contemplate like that, it's kind of egoism, right? What does that really mean? Only that mean that person contemplate, when the person is contemplating on that, he didn't realize like that only is ego come. What I'm trying to understand that sentence.
Okay.
Swami is trying to tell us. Thank you, Saira.
Yes, I think Vani has her hand up.
Sairam, so I'm just thinking out loud here that without surrender, here we said nidhanam, without surrender, there is no way, you can practice bhakti. So it is a required ingredient if we are to follow that Swadharma Nidhanam Shreya, that the surrender is a sign of bhakti. That's what I'm trying to say. So for jnana, for intellect to work, if there is no bhakti, that's what the paragraph Swami is saying here, that it is required, and then without the surrender the bhakti cannot work without the surrender. So it is the surrender is required, and without that the bhakti will not work.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else would like to comment? I think Sister Adna has asked a question also.
Sairam brother, sorry. Actually, this is Bhagavan is using this part as a sadhana for devotees. No, you know that. No, I am God, I am God, and everything. So it is a part of a sadhana. It is not actually the final state. We can use this as a sadhana, provided there is bhakti in the bhakti. You know, all sastras came from God. Okay, so this is also in sastra. This inquiry path saying Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi, and these are all Mahavakyas, and Bhavan is saying that, you know, when the Mahavakyas are saying that and people are not believing this, but people are believing in the newspaper and everything. So, but the thing is, we can say that, we can practice this one, provided we have the belief in the Shastras, believe in the God who manifested the Shastras, and we have to have that devotion, and even that God or the Guru must give the real meaning to us, then we can follow that one. Even an amateur, even a new devotee or novice can start doing this one. So, but that's why clearly Baba was saying, neglecting the path of bhakti, if you say, Aham Brahmasmi, closing your eyes, say Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. This is happening in the world. This is happening, the brother and others. No. This is happening in the world, in the people so-called Advaitins. There are a lot of Advaitins in the world, no? They just say, but they don't believe in Krishna or Sai or Rama or, because they are the avatars are the main thing, no? And from avatar came the Shastras, and the Shastras are saying this one. So they must have the connection to the ultimate God and then say this one. No? That's what I feel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, brother. Yes, Sanjay, I thought you had raised your hand.
Yeah, no, thank you, Arno. No, I think I think you mentioned earlier why we are here at the study circle, primarily because of our love for Swami. It's the love for the Guru that sustains and nurtures and also help us in our understanding of these words. The Shastras and the scriptures have existed for millennia, but how many uh, how many can be easily drawn to it and inspired by itself without love for a guru? Whether it is our own tradition or Ishtadevata, or in our case, fortunate enough um, um, uh, to have been, blessed by Swami. Until and unless that happens, the meaning of this will not come through at all. And this is in fact um, one of the things that is also being talked of today in the SSSC program, SSSC curriculum. Are the children making connection with Swami? Without making the connection with Swami, uh, Swami as in Swami, not Swami as in a generic God. Uh, how much interest, or how much can this be sustained? So I think that is the most important thing. Without having the love and the bhakti for our guru or God or sampradaya or these kind of things, none of this scriptures and shastras will have any impact for most of us. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you very much, Sanjay. So it's 4:31. Maybe I will just summarize for now and we will continue from there. So the bhakti is nothing but a pull, rati, Without that, aham will not become Brahman. So that attraction, the love, to become Brahman, just saying I am Brahman does not make us Brahman. That means that the aham, little aham, should develop so much love, a pull from Brahman. And that is the one which connects Brahman and aham. And that's the one pulls and makes them become one. Without that pull, which comes out of love for something, even in human world, if we can say, oh, that person is my friend, but if there is no friendship, the statement is meaningless. There should be friendship before that statement is made. There should be love between two people before the statement is not enough if there's no love between them. So that love is the ingredient which is described in the word Aham Brahmasmi. So without having that ingredient stating it is this is of no use is what I understand, but we will discuss it next week more. And until then we can develop our bhakti, if Swami. And we will meet again next week. Saira. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.